You're not getting anywhere with this, von Borchert.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
That's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns up, I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
You know, Louis, I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk. You've stolen something from me that I intend to get back. Where have you hidden it?
Von Borchert, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours. You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
You know, I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened our shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Von Borchert! Von Borchert! Listen. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Let me do this. Trust me. For God's sake, Louis, I told you to let me do it. Let me see.
You know, I was in control of the situation, Mother.
Oh, tell that to your nose. It's because of this kind of reaction that I prefer to work alone.
You ought to learn to trust me, Mother. Can't you be happy for once? We finally cracked the Von Borchert case?
He was just a middleman. He would have been more useful alive. How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me. You're much more important than you can ever imagine. Right, let's go now.
Well done, Mother. You just had to pick up Bob Burchett's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditched me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island. The least he could do is explain to me how he managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age. Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical object that you just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think
Contrary
about
to
it.
what one may be able to imagine, it was not the host himself who invited me.
Well now, Duchess, we find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some common interests, Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sir Holm, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
Your Eminence, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my reasons for coming here to myself. I promise, it has nothing to do with the legendary party that you all appear to be preparing for.
Believe what you will, my son. However, everything is related to the legendary parties organized by our host.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that, Cardinal.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
And you, Duchess? You seem to be quite accustomed to things here. Am I right?
I do not think that one can ever get accustomed to what Lord Mortimer prepares for his guests. But you are right. This is not the first time I've been on this wharf.
If you've come back again, I imagine you must find it to be of some interest.
Here, everything is possible if you make the right choices. It really is up to you whether you leave better off or not.
Please excuse me if you find me overly curious, young man. I did not mean to cause you any embarrassment. Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious. If I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Are you all right?
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
So,
Okay, it's done.
did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah, no one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, no, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't. No. No! You can run if you want to, Sarah, but you will pay.
Hugh.
Louis, are you all right? What's going on? Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. it's getting late. Why don't you go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes! I'm sorry. I'm sure, yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly.
Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Well, I've devoted myself to the interests of France to the best of my abilities. A few years ago, I had a brush with some of your fellow countrymen.
Counter-revolutionaries, I'd imagine.
Exactly. They got away, thanks to a little diversion I came up with to keep the sans-culottes away. Believe me, they came close to adorning the walls of the catacombs of Paris.
So that young French diplomat was you? The mercy you showed the agents of the Queen roused the admiration of the court. Few would have let them leave France alive.
Duchess, I'm surprised that anyone still remembers.
Well, they say I have the memory of two people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
Please excuse me, madam. I'm sure we've met before, but I don't remember where.
I appreciate your honesty, even if it's not very flattering for me.
I imagine that with your beauty, madam, it's the first time a man hasn't remembered your face.
Well, I must say you make up for yourself rather elegantly.
Please stop torturing me. I'm completely at your mercy. Where have we met?
4 years ago, in London,
No, sorry, I don't remember.
in the office of William Pitt. Remember? No?
I'm so sorry, Emily, but I really don't remember you.
Let's drop it, Louis. It doesn't matter. Right, time to go to the manor.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me?
Emily, please excuse my insisting, but you still haven't answered about my mother. Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis de Richet.
Monsieur de Richet. Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richet's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
What can you tell me about the disappearance of my mother?
2 weeks have passed since Sir's mother went missing. All the staff here have since been busy searching every nook and cranny of the island. But Sir may rest assured, we shouldn't be long in finding her.
And just what have you found so far?
It would seem that Sir's mother may be hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this behavior necessary.
What do you mean?
On several occasions, we have found leftovers of food, a few of her things, or even traces of campsites. The reason why we're searching the wharf again is because lights were spotted there last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Did anyone see anything else?
Unfortunately not, sir. Only lights were seen by servants of the manor, sir. And as I was saying, sir, all the guests were asleep, and no one seems to have noticed anything at all. We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials S.D.R. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richet. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here.
Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
That handkerchief belongs to me. Please hand it over now.
But, sir,
I'll speak directly to your master about it. It will be a very long conversation.
Of course, sir. Please, take it. On that note, I must leave you, sir. There is still much to prepare in order to welcome all the guests.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf?
Latin inscription. En necis, mi fili, quantilia produncia mundus ergatur. You don't know, my son, how little wisdom the world is governed with. I tend to agree. Looks like the barrel's been broken for quite some time. This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough. Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away. Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy. A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time. A lantern. Nothing special. Let's see what's hidden inside. Let's look. It's too badly written, I can't make out the address. A letter written in an Oriental language. This letter's in Japanese. It's addressed to a certain Kei Shotaro in Tokyo. The address is 50 Bedford Square, London. The addressee's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That reminds me, it's about time the Order sent some envoys there. Probably a Dutchman. This envelope is meant for the Vatican. This name sounds familiar. Prashi. No, can't seem to place it. Hôtel de Cluny, Rue de Mathurin, Paris. I guarantee this letter is for my mother. The address is a hideout for the Golden Order. If you write anyone over there, you have to watch out in case someone's reading your mail. But who is this Samuel Ritter d'Auchois? Let's see what's inside this letter. So,
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend Manuel Godoy? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion. Thank you in advance. Yours devotedly, Sarah Faustine de Richet.
what is your game here, Mother? Secrets, always more secrets. You never talk to anyone using language like this. Something's going on here. Who is this Samuel Ritter? And for crying out loud, who is this Manuel Godoy that you keep bringing up? Think. Godoy. Manuel Godoy. Why does that name sound so familiar? Ah, it's coming back to me. Godoy is the head of the Spanish government. He was appointed by King Charles IV, if I'm not mistaken. Rumor has it that he's very close to the Queen. Too close. Much too close. But hey, that's none of my business. He has a reputation of being upright and proud, very attached to the aristocracy, and close to Louis XVI. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me. Honey, the remedy of the gods. Hey, there's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest. Somebody replaced it recently. It looks like it's fixed pretty solidly in place. It's going to be tough to rip it out of here. That does it. Let's see what's hidden inside. There's a book and also a bag. The Mysterium Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read passages from it to me all the time. And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers. For crying out loud, what's happened to you, Mother? Let's look inside the bag. A little food, a few toiletries, a small key, and some kind of black powder. Some fruit, a piece of bacon, and some bread. The fruit's still firm. The bread's a bit stale. From the smell, this food's been here roughly 2 days, and if it's rationed, there's enough left to last 2 more days. Shit, those are definitely my mother's things. I recognize her hairpins. This bag smells of her perfume. A piece of soap, some oils, and her powder puff. What does all this mean? The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder. An iron key completely rusted. You never know. It might be useful. I hope Mother wasn't counting on it. Right, that's enough. I think I better leave her bag here. If she hid all this, it's because she thought she might need it later. For crying out loud. Why did you hide supplies in the middle of nowhere, Mother? I don't know what's going on here, but you obviously feel like you're in danger. Get it open barehanded. There we are. This looks like a pistol case. But it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful.
A fragment of amber.
This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. So, let's go through this. My mother's been hiding pieces of bread between the rotten boards of the wharf in the middle of the night. That's not normal. And if that weren't enough, looks now like she's armed. Meanwhile, she also takes the time to send out letters, reassuring whoever might be interested that she's having a fabulous time here. So odd. So very odd. And that's not even all I've noticed. But maybe I ought to move on to the manor now. They'll be waiting for me. At least I hope so. How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
impressive.
Ah, my son, I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Louis de Richet, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow, then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
If you know my mother, you will understand that I cannot answer you, Your Eminence. I'm sorry, but...
Do not worry, my son. I perfectly understand, and I expected nothing less from you. Discretion and secrecy are both pillars of the organizations for which we work. You are the worthy son of Sarah.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Don't worry, Your Eminence. Your secret is safe with me. You know my mother's reputation. As her son, I will defend the de Richet's word with the same fervor.
Ah, I would expect nothing less. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur de Richet. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her. That time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains. Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
What were you talking about? Forgive my indiscretion. Nothing strange about that. This one is beyond belief.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you'll forgive my indiscretion?
Believe me, she's not that special. His Eminence was asking me for my opinion about the style of the main door. I have to admit, this place certainly doesn't lack panache.
It's simply stupefying.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat. Very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer. So don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision. Let's see what Washington has to say. Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Louis, thank you for staying. Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
And President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to ask, my lad. And if you have any other questions, now's the time.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Lord Mortimer is a remarkable man. He's wealthy and is advisor to the very highly placed. Your mother is the head of the Order in France. It doesn't surprise me that he asked her to come.
Lord Mortimer greatly contributed to financing my electoral campaign, for example. But I want this to be clear, without ever seeking to gain an advantage.
And that is to his credit.
Yes, you can trust him. He will do everything in his power to help you find Sarah.
Mr. Washington, you seem to be very familiar with my mother. Where did you first meet her?
I met Sarah during the War of Independence on American soil. She was introduced to me by a mutual acquaintance, and I must say that her sound advice prevented me from making some terrible mistakes. She may not be a soldier, but believe me, she deserves a statue as much as Lafayette does.
I didn't see that one coming. There's no doubt Mother has many secrets that are still hidden.
Right. Would it be too much if I asked you a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about? When she came to the U.S., did you exchange ideas about the Golden Order?
Exactly. What's more, she was essential in helping set up the American branch of the Order. I would never have become its leader without her help. We are a new country, and to achieve our democratic ideals, we need to count on discrete powers such as our organization.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
Mother still is at the head of the Golden Order. I find it difficult to believe that she came to this island without notifying the other members.
As for myself, I did not know. I am here at the request of Sir Holm, a situation regarding the Crown of England to resolve, and to see what Lord Mortimer has to propose to us.
As for me, Lord Mortimer asked me here to speak about the future of America. I did not know that your mother would even be among us. In any case, no one has yet mentioned associating the Order.
We haven't found many clues yet.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
Careful, they're coming back.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
So, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence. On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right, where is my room? Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Biaggi's trust. What should I do? Okay, let's see what it contains. Too bad for Biaggi. So, it really is a list of French countrymen. Biaggi wasn't lying. But now it's opened. I better get it to Mother soon. Wow! Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway. Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son. Saint Francis of Assisi in ecstasy, before superior voices. It always amuses me to see how art gets used for propaganda purposes. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
De Richet can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of de Richet's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
Oh, what a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear. I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late, and we have much to discuss. One last move?
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, take a seat, my friend.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
I'm coming.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present. However, rest assured that we are doing all we can to resolve the case that concerns us. By the way,
Last Judgment. Why do I always get the most terrifying room? The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on but doesn't touch. A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguise, the torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance.
Excuse me. Am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
No. What's her name again?
Elizabeth Adams. Well, She is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. But she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens! I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room. And perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least, I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are two men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories.
Sir, I don't feel well. I'm going to have to decline.
I see. Well, I hope you won't be needing my help one day.
I must act swiftly. I'll search my room later. Louis, you're straying from your objective. I recognize this part of the corridor. I'm close.
Good evening, sir. I'm sorry, but an important meeting is underway. My instructions are to let no one pass.
Tell me, my good man.
Sir?
I have an urgent letter to send.
My instructions are clear, sir. No one is to enter.
Does the word urgent mean nothing to you?
Yes, but the word liar also means something.
That won't work, Louis.
Listen, I'm an insomniac, and Sir Holm told me that you could go to the kitchen and make me a cup of herbal tea.
And what is in this herbal tea, sir?
Holm gave Washington a recipe for a sleeping draught. What was it again?
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian.
Yes, it's herbal tea. I'll go and make it for you at once, sir.
I'll wait for you in my room.
I need to find a place to watch undisturbed. The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy. My dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if they targeted us soon. Make haste, my son. You hold our destiny in your hand. My dearest son, it's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles. The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur. Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. Why do I get nothing but visions of horror in my room, and he gets victory after victory? I can't hear anything here. I've got to find another spot. This window opens onto the balcony. Okay, so that means the other room must be on my right.
Sir, I understand your eagerness, but the pressure on my family complicates the task.
Relax, my friend. Your relatives will soon be safe.
So what I saw in my vision really did happen. Well, I hope I haven't missed anything important.
I thank you so much.
Don't mention it. Now that's settled, let us speak about your support.
Yes. You mentioned earlier some assistants from the Golden Order?
Absolutely. I have concluded an agreement with their leader, Lady Sarah Faustine de Richet.
Another case that Mother didn't tell me about.
The funds from the order will finance the building of a foundry in Tuscany. You will soon be able to count on 100 or more cannons for your future campaigns.
I was not expecting so much help from you. When can I meet this de Richet?
Well, unfortunately, something has cropped up. De Richet has disappeared.
Disappeared? What, here?
Yes, but the staff are redoubling efforts to find her, I assure you.
So the agreement, is it on or off?
It is on. Her right-hand man has just arrived here to help us find her, and it is none other than her son, Louis de Richet. I wager he will ensure his mother's commitments are met.
Louis. Not an easy name to live with in these times.
Of course. But from now on, you will deal with him.
This man, it can only be Mortimer.
Very well. I will seek him out.
Map. Better get away from here.
Louis?
Emily? I can explain.
Perhaps, but remain still.
But first, you could perhaps remove the blade from my throat?
You have 10 seconds to explain your presence here.
Madam, 10 seconds isn't enough for me to tell you how sorry I really am for having entered your room, and I mean that sincerely.
That's a good start. What are you doing in my room?
I thought a night's stroll would help me sleep better. A servant must have closed the window behind me
And my window was the only way for you to get back inside. Most convincing. What were you really doing on the balcony?
Going outside was the only way I could listen to what was being said in the room next door. If you knew the trouble I went through to get to the balcony, That reminds me of a story. Last time I was in Madrid, I had to climb up a church and...
Louis, your little anecdote is quite fascinating, but please stop wasting my time. Do these events concern me? Do they involve the Golden Order?
I overheard a conversation between a French soldier and some other individual.
And what were they talking about?
It seems Mother is involved, something about a military campaign. Apparently my mother validated an order of cannons to help this man.
Really? Since when does the Order finance wars?
As far as I know, since never.
Did they give any details, a date, what they were for?
Nothing at all. Did you know anything about this?
No, but I won't forget. Thank you. All right, Louis, I might have overreacted a bit. Please do excuse me, but next time, please try knocking on my door. I'd be delighted to open it for you.
Oh, well, I'll remember in that case. Good night, Emily.
Good night, Louis.
Your Eminence, what are you doing here?
I wanted to speak to you about something important. Do you still have my letter on you? The one I gave you in the hall?
Why do you ask?
I have a name to add to it.
It would have been my pleasure, but I don't have it with me, Your Eminence.
Why is that?
You remember that I came here to meet my mother. Well, I still haven't found her, and it's beginning to worry me. Given the importance of your letter and not knowing where it all might lead me, I've hidden it. His Eminence wouldn't want me to take the slightest risk, would he?
Excellent initiative, my son. But please tell me you haven't simply left it in your room, my son.
Don't worry. It is perfectly safe and sound.
Certainly, but where?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to say. The walls have ears here, and I refuse to put any of these people in danger. Give me the name you wanted to add, and I'll pass it on to my mother.
Very well. You seem to know what you're doing. Here is the name. Jean-Baptiste Joseph Goebel. Don't forget to give this name to your mother, or a good man will end up dead.
Are you prepared to trust me, or not?
Of course, my son. Have a good night.
Exhausted. I better go to bed. I'll search my room tomorrow. If Mother stayed here right before me, you never know. And Mortimer had better show up. Alright, in my vision yesterday I saw that Mother had this room before me. I better search the room. Who knows? Maybe she left me something behind. Inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel, dictated to him by voices. I haven't even had time to unpack my cases.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present. However...
Last Judgment. Why do I always get the most terrifying room? Writing material. Nothing. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly. Oh, this bookcase is well stocked.
Oh, this book has been put back the wrong way round.
A Voyage Around the World, the travelogue of the explorer Louis-Antoine de Bougainville. One of Mother's favorite books. What a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences. It's just too much. I don't know what's going on here, but if you felt threatened, I'll bet you'd leave a clue, wouldn't you, Mother? Found it. A faint sign of the order, barely visible. Mother, you undoubtedly must have hidden a clue in this book. Let's see if I can find anything else in this room. I'm not far from solving the puzzle. I must keep searching. Look, markings on the floor. Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage. There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it. There's a note. Effects of Sociedad de Richet, to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it. All right, I've retrieved everything. Nothing here. I wouldn't mind a nice, strong coffee, though. priest's robe, crosses. Must be Piaggi's room. Here's something will undermine my botanist's appreciation for the local climate. Let's recap. My mother was in this room. I found a rare edition of her favorite book. She must have left something behind. She must have used the writing materials. What if she used lemon juice instead? An old trick used to hide messages. A message using invisible ink. I bet she used a lemon to leave a message. Now, how do I reveal the message? The message is illegible. I have to keep searching. This room looks unoccupied. Ah, secret writing. Many people use this method for their secret correspondences. Light the flame and the ink appears. Well, so it wasn't that, and I've just stained half the page. Ink is always used to write a message, never to reveal one. I must find something else. Aha! It's working! The heat reveals the message. Let's see what my mother wrote. Where all eyes size you up, you must pass by the Gorgon. Gorgon was the name of Medusa in Greek mythology. On the other hand, where all eyes size you up, I don't get it. And judging by the number of paintings in the manor, it could be anywhere. Damn! The message continues, but thanks to me, the rest of the text is unreadable. Great. I hope it wasn't a unique edition or Mother's gonna kill me. Now I better hurry and find that damn Medusa.
Sir, dinner is served in the red salon.
Typical. I'm not hungry. Please give my apologies to all the guests.
Sir Holm requests your presence, sir.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait before going and looking for my Medusa. Tell him I'll be there in a minute. If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests. Might be better to take a different stairway. That must be the door to the room of the soldier I saw in my vision. Monsieur Napoleón Bonaparte.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Hello. You're Elizabeth Adams, aren't you?
Yes, I regret that we haven't been properly introduced.
Do you often fall ill like that?
Yes, sometimes. But don't worry, I guess I'm kind of a frail flower.
Maybe you were feeling hungry.
No, it was nothing to do with being hungry. Fatigue, probably. I've been feeling more and more exhausted lately.
Well, get some rest then, Elizabeth. Take advantage of the sea air and you'll soon get your strength back.
Do you really want to know what made me ill? Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care?
I know your mother very well.
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
She nursed you.
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No. I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
Elizabeth, confiding in me might ease your burden. Let me relieve you of some of your suffering.
Relieve me? Do you even hear yourself? Do you really think that by confiding in my torturer's son, I will be healed as if by magic? That it will bring my smile back or let me sleep at night? Look, you don't seem like a bad person, and I'm sorry you have to find out your mother's true colors like this. But I'm not going to pity you. Everybody has their cross to bear. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Take your father. I'm sure he tried everything to save you.
Sure, he tried everything to keep me from upsetting his political affairs. Once I was declared insane, I was nothing but a burden that got in the way of his career. By leaving me with your mother, he made all the horrors possible. I've got nothing more to say to you. Figure it out yourself.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service, day and night, sir.
I would like to speak about your master, Lord Mortimer.
Do please excuse me, sir, but I shall make no comment about my master. Is there anything else that sir would like to know?
What can you tell me about the guests?
Do excuse me, sir, but I am bound by discretion to say nothing about Lord Mortimer's guests, sir. Perhaps sir would like to know something else?
Yes. Can you briefly describe the ground floor, please?
Very well, sir. On the ground floor, there are mainly living rooms. Sir finds himself at present in the Grand Hall. From the Grand Hall, Sir can access, on one side, the small salon where the guests like to relax with a good book. From there, Sir can access the conference room, which is closed at present for preparations. That is where Lord Mortimer likes to gather all of his guests for talks. From the other side of the Grand Hall, Sir may access the dining room. That is where Sir's meals will be served. From the dining room, Sir may benefit from an exceptional view overlooking the island. It is also the best way to access the portrait gallery, where a large part of Lord Mortimer's works are exhibited. And in the gallery, Sir will also find access to the garden. But Sir may be reassured the building is accessible on both sides, so that it surrounds the garden in question. So, Sir should not find cause to worry. No one has ever gotten lost.
Except for my mother.
Has Sir another question?
What's on the first floor?
The first floor is reserved for guests, sir. That is where Sir will find his private rooms. The main corridor leads around the building. 3 stairways will enable Sir to return to the ground floor. It is also from there that Sir will be able to reach the second floor.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, sir?
Yes. What can I find on the second floor?
That floor is strictly reserved for Lord Mortimer, sir. In the west wing on the second floor are his private chambers. In the east wing are the rooms reserved for Lord Mortimer's personal guests. At the moment, these rooms are reserved for Sir Holmes, sir. But only authorized guests may access that area. Does Sir have any more questions?
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If Sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise Sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help Sir in any other way?
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend Sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Indeed, this masterpiece must not become more damaged. Let me have it and I'll take care of it personally. I love antiquarian books.
It bothers me somewhat. It isn't Sir's job to take care of it, really.
No, but I would love to. You'll be doing me a favor by letting me have it.
In that case, sir, I shall leave it in your care with pleasure. May I do anything else for Sir?
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table.
I am delighted to hear it.
Wollner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
And you, sir?
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
An extremely likely proposition.
The Prussian-Britannic coalition is not good for France. The last time we fought against them, our empire went up in smoke.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule. But I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mentioning that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
Very funny, sir.
What do you think of Wollner?
If you had helped me last night, I might have been willing to answer you. But that was not the case.
Yes, I heard the news.
Monsieur de Richet, it would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
Wonder.
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis. I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
I've only just taken over the affair. The agreement will be considered null and void until we've gone through it together. Is that clear?
All right, you seem to know what you're doing. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
Let the people make their own choices.
You are joking, I hope. The people are simply not capable of taking charge, don't you see? They are an uneducated mob who react on the spur of the moment, incapable of providing a coherent vision for the good of the country.
The revolution was a good thing, but it gave birth to a monster. We must overthrow the new system in place.
Ah, you are right. Monsieur de Richet, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met you. Lord Mortimer was right to put his trust in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the Revolution in France.
Monsieur Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
My friends, I would like to say a few words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer, and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is eminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington. Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Alright, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up. Well, Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, this sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr. von Wollner. We hadn't spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
Well, I must admit, Your Eminence, indeed it does worry me.
I understand, Louis. But continue to have faith in Sarah. You'll see, I'm sure, that in a few days we'll all be laughing together.
That's all I hope for, Your Eminence. But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Well, go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
As I haven't visited all the manor yet, I wondered if you hadn't seen a Medusa by any chance.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, la Gorgogne, the Medusa from Greek mythology. Would you have seen one? In any shape or form?
Not at all, my son. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be of any use to you.
Thank you anyway, Your Eminence. I won't take up any more of your time. On that last word, then, I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle. Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world. Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. few pages out of an old encyclopedia. Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of. And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now? A painting with no name. I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern. And the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand. The Origin of Myths, a reinterpretation of legendary creatures. Just what I need. The text is in French on the left-hand page and in Latin on the right hand. Let's find the chapter on the Medusa. There's an extra line in the Latin translation. The night light was reflected in the shield and blinded the monster. So the hero with the sword seized the opportunity and cut off its head. Hang on. This version is significantly different from the regular one. It recounts how men have always belittled women in society. Harpies, mermaids, the chimera, the hydra, the gorgons. Ah, the section on the Medusa. While some of the heroes divert attention from the gorgon, the hero with the sword brandishes his weapon at the Medusa. For Pete's sake, Emily! You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
First my room, now here. Stop following me, you're becoming a nuisance.
Wait a minute, You're not implying that I'm here to court you, are you?
Oh, Louis, I'm just stating the obvious. You wouldn't be the first, rest assured.
Yeah, this is embarrassing. The worst thing is that it seems to be working.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
Oh yeah? So tell me what you're doing here.
I...
Yeah, just like me.
Probably, but I asked the question first.
Well then, we'll pretend you haven't asked me yet.
What about a little gallantry, Louis? Come on, I'm listening. What are you doing here?
Since you insist, Duchess, gallantry obliges this. Ladies first.
You just won't give in, will you?
I'm sorry, madam. It isn't in my nature.
Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh yeah, in your dreams. At your service, madam. I found an amazing ring. There's an inscription engraved on it. The mythical ring of the Nibelung.
Louis, do you really believe it's the ring of the legend?
You should try it on. They say if you wear it on your finger, it makes you more agreeable.
How droll. In the legend, it's a cursed ring.
You're married. Why don't you wear a wedding ring?
You mean wear something just to prove your love? Not my style.
Ancient Greek, translated, it reads, the all-gifted. Could this jar be the original Pandora's box? Emily, I've found Pandora's box. It's not as impressive as I thought it would be, but that's how these things usually go.
I detest that legend. Once again, women are made responsible for all of the world's evils. And stop playing with that pot, you'll break it. Come on, let's move on.
A golden fleece.
It's freezing, hurry up.
Cold? You want a rug? It'll warm you up.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that horrible thing.
That's a pity. The gold color brings out your eyes.
And your flattery brings out your boorishness.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
How did the English manage to get their hands on them?
When someone wants to attract the attention of the world's leading power, somehow the gifts just pour in.
You wouldn't have gone to the Vatican recently, would you?
Are you calling me a thief?
Certainly not. Never entered my mind. Hey, Mortimer is the author of this work. It talks about his passion for art. A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly, that's called a cash.
Guess what I found?
The Holy Grail.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath. I can just see Mortimer dressed in a toga, wearing a laurel wreath, strutting around his manor all day long.
You have a curious idea of Mortimer.
Why? He's eccentric, like all the English are, isn't he?
Well, if Peru stands for French grace, then if I were you, I wouldn't be making that sort of remark.
Well, looks like a pamphlet on different political regimes, written by Mortimer himself. You should see this sword, Emily. It's magnificent.
I'm busy. Describe it to me.
It really does look like Joan of Arc's sword.
The famous Maid of Orleans. One of your favorite historical heroines.
You bet. Given the number of English butts she kicked.
And we all know where that got her. When you finished playing, maybe you can help me search the place?
Amber crystals.
Here's something interesting. A manor in Maine, hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia, properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old, and all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention. How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation to generation. Different men, but with one sole identity.
An intriguing hypothesis, and yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
And how do you know my mother was interested in this room?
I didn't know, I just supposed she was. And you just confirmed it. So, do you think she found what she came for?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess these property deeds are troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? How did Lord Mortimer get all this? It's just crazy.
Secret connections, money, or a well-kept family treasure passed on from generation to generation. Who knows?
That would mean some of Mortimer's ancestors lived before Jesus was born. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something. What is that you found?
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged for that jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. I can't trust a man who sneaks into my room in the middle of the night.
Are you really gonna use that against me every time we meet?
It's difficult to pretend nothing happened. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar. Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in you, Louis?
You trusted me last night. My being in your room was a bit odd, I'll give you that. And you might have taken me for a thief, or worse. But I managed to explain myself, right? Look at us. I wonder what Mortimer would think if he found us here. Let's trust each other, Emily. We are partners in crime now.
That I grant you. I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese, but I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily! I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone. You have your strengths and your weaknesses, and there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
You think your scathing wit protects you, but in fact, it makes you blind. No sooner have people introduced themselves than you already see them in a bad light. You play the part of a strong woman, and yes, you are a strong woman, of course, but what I see is a sensitive young lady who lacks self-confidence. Stop adopting a defensive posture, and you'll see just how quickly new doors will open.
There is some truth to what you say. I might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
Oh, it's crystal clear. You don't like people telling you what to do, and you do like giving the orders to everyone.
If I were the matron you speak of, I would have found an underling to search this place, and I would be sound asleep in my bed. I already have a work partner. I know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me, but I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well, since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is... It's as obvious as it is surprising. You're my mother's hard-hitting partner.
Oh, God, do you really believe the nonsense that comes out of your mouth?
Well, a second ago I did. A little.
Sorry, Louis, your mother is not my partner.
Chances are, you're working with a member of the Order.
The only members of the Order other than ourselves are your mother and Mr. Washington. The former has sadly gone missing. As for the latter, I knew nothing of his arrival. Incidentally, you must have noticed how inefficiently our Order communicates internationally.
Your father. The force of youth combined with the wisdom of ancestors.
I never knew my father. And it'll be better for him if I never do find him.
Sorry.
I thought you'd figured out I was an orphan.
No. Please forgive me. I didn't know.
Right, time is short. You haven't convinced me. I prefer to remain discreet. Don't take it the wrong way. All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister. And if I reacted so strongly at the sight of the cameo pendant, it's because I thought it belonged to her. But it doesn't.
I understand. I won't insist.
It's time to leave.
So, what do you think of our first adventure?
I must admit it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Oh, she's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do? Sorry, Emily, but I can't leave Elizabeth like this. All right, Elizabeth. How can I help?
Thank you. Come on, follow me.
Well, Elizabeth, what was so urgent? For God's sakes, what happened in here?
I really need to talk to you, Louis, right now.
Does Lord Mortimer know the mess you've made of your room?
Listen to me, damn it! My days are numbered.
All right. What have you got on your mind now?
You've got to listen to what I have to say while there's still time. You need to know the truth about your mother.
About my mother? What do you mean?
I saw her.
Saw who? You saw my mother? When?
Just last night. I went out to walk along the cliff top and I saw her in the distance. She tried to hide right away, but I'm sure it was her.
Are you saying you recognized my mother in the middle of the night while she was hiding?
Yes, Louis, I know it was her.
You just said she was far away, right? In the middle of the night. And the exterior of the island isn't exactly well lit.
Listen, I'm telling you, it was her.
Did you talk to each other?
No, she was far away. I didn't make any noise, and then she was gone.
Have you told anyone you've seen her? Sir Holm? Mortimer?
You don't understand. It's her. She's here.
Yes, I understand.
No, you're not listening. The moment I saw her, I was overcome by spasms. She's here. I'm telling you, it was her. Yes, I need something to calm me down.
I'll drink with you, but let's go easy on it, okay? I don't know where she gets her rot gut from, but frankly, it's disgusting.
You know, Louis, when I came here, it was in the hope of getting help. I've only just now realized that I've been drawn here into a trap.
Whoa. The alcohol's gone to my head.
Here, the condemned's last drink.
Elizabeth, alcohol never solves anything. I'm gonna stop now.
Listen up. You want to know what your mother was capable of, right? You want to know the reason why. Well, you're gonna have to follow me to the bottom of the abyss, Louis. Either drink or get out.
Man, I need to take it easy with the booze. At this rate, I won't last the night. Let's go easy on the drinking, okay? Alcohol won't solve our problems. Ugh, the second one isn't any easier.
So, do you want to know why she did all those things to me or not? Even if it changes the image you have of her forever?
What was she trying to cure you of then?
Of the one illness she never managed to treat me for.
Come on, Elizabeth. We have to finish what we started. I feel all dizzy. There must have been a reason. Just tell me. Tell me what my mother treated you for.
She wanted to silence them!
What? What are you talking about? Silence what?
The voices. The voices in my head. They speak to me, Louis. They've always told me what to do. They say nasty things to me.
Elizabeth, do you realize what you're saying?
Of course, Louis. This is what I live every day.
But these spirits, Elizabeth, don't exist. You do realize that. These voices in your head, it's you, in fact. Nobody is speaking to you.
They want me. Want me just for themselves. They talk to me all the time. Yet your mother did everything to make them go away. Ever since I was little. And look at the result.
It's impossible, Mother. You spent your life trying to prove that the supernatural doesn't exist. Why punish this poor girl?
Oh, shit. What has she done to you?
Uh-oh, Louis. Are you starting to believe me?
No, but
Too bad it's all been for nothing. They're still there, you know.
What do you mean? They're still talking to you?
All the time. Despite everything Sarah put me through, I still hear them. And here I am on a lost island, knowing that no one knows me. And I find myself here at the exact same time as her. You see? You understand? You sense it too. I'm going to die here. I beg you, tell me you believe me.
I'm here, Elizabeth. I'm right here with you. And I do believe you.
Thank you, Louis. You know, despite what people might think, I'm not crazy.
My God, Elizabeth, how's this possible?
Welcome to my world, Lil Louis. Welcome to my life.
Elizabeth, the whole story stinks of death. If I were you, I'd have left the moment you heard me speak about my mother. I don't know if she knows you're here, but if I had any doubt, I wouldn't take the risk.
Yeah, you're right. I can't stay here another minute. I need to get the hell out of here. I need to find a boat and get away. I'm not dying here.
Oh, I feel so dizzy.
You like my little concoction, don't you? That's rare.
What?
It no longer has any effect on me, but my guests generally don't appreciate me mixing alcohol with laudanum.
What? You put laudanum in my drink?
In both. Don't worry, my little Louis. We'll sink down to the bottom together.
Oh man, I feel like puking. I really feel like shit. I gotta get back.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm here now. I'll take good care of you, and then I'll leave.
Don't touch me! Just leave. If I get up, I'll fall.
Oh, little Louis' tired. Leave everything to me.